guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how I put this artwork on this pedal using a Waterslide Inkjet Decal and some varnish. It's a pretty easy process. It's a bit time consuming, but it's a good way of getting pretty clean graphics on a pedal without learning how to screen print or anything like that. So enjoy! Okay, so the first step I did, and apologies for the noise, there's a bit of a storm going on outside, but yeah, the first thing I did was download this drilling template, which is specifically made for the Brutalist, and it does have some graphics on it, but I didn't want to use these graphics. So I downloaded this and imported it into GIMP. GIMP is a free graphical, what does it stand for? Graphical Image Manipulation Program, I think. It was basically a free version of Photoshop. Does pretty much the same things. This is available from the God City Instruments people, but I mean you can download drilling templates for any sized enclosure, use whatever one you need for any other type of pedal. So download that, import it into GIMP, and here is what I came up with. This is the artwork for a Converge album, because the creator of this pedal is in the band Converge. As you can see, I essentially erased all of the drill markings, erased this artwork, kept the God City Instruments logo, I kept the control labels, and I added a logo for myself. Something more medieval and, I don't know, artsy than what I had before. Basically just a font with a bit of extra flair at it. So the plan next is to print out this drilling template, use it to actually drill the enclosure, then print this out on the Waterslide transfer paper, then put it on the pedal. Okay, so for the drill template you want to use regular, normal photo paper. Just any kind will do, cheap stuff is perfect. Any printer will do as well. This is just your average Canon inkjet. And then just print it without any scaling so that it is the correct size, and double check after you print it, obviously. And that didn't work at all. As you can see, it's not after printing out at the right size. So we're going to have to go through some settings and figure that out. That is much more like it. As you can see, it's almost perfect. Possibly a little bit smaller than I would like it to be. Try cutting it out and see does it work then. Right, so that is essentially that. So you just tape this down so that it stays on it properly and is fixed in place. Then mark out the holes, take it off and drill it. And these things can be reused. Even has instructions on it right there. Right, so that's part one. We'll drill the enclosure using this. But while the printer is out, let's do the other part. So this is stuff that I got. It's called Waterslide Decal transfer paper. I got this on Amazon. It was about £15. whatever way you want to work that out to your local currency. and you have to be careful apparently to make sure you get water jet or inkjet version if you have an inkjet printer, or a laser version if you have a laser printer, because one will not work with the other. So let's see if I can print out some awesome artwork. So it comes with instructions. Okay, so that came out pretty well, I think. Yeah, it's just a tiny bit smaller than what the actual enclosure is. So it should work perfectly. I'll even have the border on the outside, which I was hoping to get. So great, now we're just going to leave that to dry. So we'll air dry it for a little while. Then I'll spray it, leave it to dry again, and then we'll get started. This should be dry by now, dry enough to put the clear lacquer varnish on it. So I got this stuff, matte all-purpose, general purpose varnish, should work. Just got it out of the art and hobby store. So now I'm pretty sure I should be using this in a well ventilated area, so I'm just going to open a window. It doesn't say how many coats or anything to put on it, so I'm going to go one and hope for the best. God, that smells awful. Now, one precaution I didn't really take is I should have covered it a bit better for dust. There's a bit on it now. I'm sure it'll work out okay. Right, so cover that so no more dust gets on it. And then we'll work on the pedal enclosure drilling. Right, so we've got our template, and we'll just stick it down temporarily using sellotape or double-sided tape. I'm not sure what you call it in your respective region. Just a little bit of trial and error to get it placed as best I can. Yeah, something like that should do nicely. Doesn't have to be perfect, it's only a template. So then mark out using a hammer and nail the spots that you need to drill. You probably can't see it, but there are little indentations that will help guide the drill. So now you can set this aside and use it for future projects that might need the same layout, or a similar layout even. Then you can enlarge the holes using one of these stepping bits, or by just picking out the correct size bit. I find these work great though. And just have some of the components on hand just to double check that you have the right size hole drilled. Now, nothing is 100% aligned because it's all hand drilled, but there should be enough leeway in it. Eventually I will buy a drill press, but until that day, all of my pedals will be slightly wonky, which is okay. Gives them character, maybe. I don't know. Just have to wait a little bit longer for the Waterslide decal to dry, the varnish on it to dry, I mean. Then I can go ahead and get this one and put it on this. So I'll just tidy up a bit, make sure this is nice and clean, and then we'll be good to go. I'm drying for a few hours, so it should be ready to be cut out and put in water. Okay, so just cut around the design as close to it as I can. And then we immerse it in water. It says in the instructions to do it for between half a minute and a minute. So hopefully this will work. Seems to have curled up a lot. There we go. Now it's separating from it. Just wet the surface a little bit. And it's pretty easy to move around while it's still wet, so just make sure the position is good. As centered as possible. Okay, that looks pretty good. Dab some of the extra moisture off of it. And then we just leave that to set for a day or two, and then we'll spray it with some more varnish so that it's permanently on there. Okay, so it's been drying now for a day and a half. The instructions said you could dry it in the oven, but it seemed like I was way less likely to screw it up by just letting it air dry. So now we need to trim the parts that cover the holes for the components. You don't need to be too careful here because the component will cover any blemishes, but just try to be neat. So I'm using an X-Acto knife type thing, or a hobby knife, or whatever you'd call it. Great. So now I'll just add another coat of clear varnish. Let that dry overnight, and then we should be able to put a final coat on, and then it's ready to put components into it. Okay, so that worked pretty well. I'm pretty happy with the results. A few things I would do differently. I think I would probably go with a glossy finish varnish next time. Although the matte does look pretty cool. I'll have to see what it looks like on a fully painted enclosure, since this was a blank enclosure to start with. I have a couple that are already powder coated. I'm not sure what you'd call it. They're already painted anyway. So I'll try it out on that and see, does the matte finish look okay over a glossy paint job. It's pretty easy. I think you could probably put a few more coats of varnish on it to keep it safer from scratches and whatnot. But the two, well technically three I did, look good. And I think it should hold up pretty well. I'm not going to be kicking it around the place or anything. I'm always pretty careful with my pedals. Oh, and I think I'll have to be more careful about dust next time. There are a few spots you can't really see it because of the style of the finish. It's kind of hidden by the aluminium background, but there's probably some dust and junk embedded in it. And some gloves for when I'm spraying the varnish. That's a big step that I'm going to make sure I take next time. So anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and check back next time. Cheers.